January 25th, 9:07. I'd like to call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda to read and approve the minutes of the November 30th.
That was a day you guys are gonna have to handle that one on your own.
Yes. Any questions?
Nay. I make a motion to accept.
I wasn't there, but I didn't have to second.
He's got a second.
He has the second, yeah.
Second.
You got a motion?
That wasn't, I made the motion.
Okay, I have a second.
Jerome seconded.
Well, two glasses. Now review the minutes of December 20th.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the 20th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Bills, communications, and the warrant of November 22nd.
Make a motion to pass both warrants for November and December.
Second.
All in favor? Vote.
Aye.
Motion passes. Review the warrant of December
We just approved that as well.
22.
We approved that as well.
All in favor? Motion passes. Too fast.
Mr. Racine,
Yes.
he made a motion to approve both
Oh, I'm
November
sorry.
and
I didn't
December.
hear it.
Okay,
He ain't working too good today.
okay.
Now, we would have the vote to accept the budget of FY 2023 for the 667 and 689. What is that?
So we have Teresa from Fenton and Ewald here today, and she's gonna present the budget for 2023.
Okay, the floor is yours.
The floor's mine, okay. All right. Well, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
As you know, I'm Teresa Ewald, you're the accountant from Fenton Ewald and Associates. And so what I'm going to do today is go over it's actually our July 1 budget that started, and I know we're 6 months into it already, but the HCD's delayed, getting budget guidelines and that. So the packet that you were given, there's two pieces. One is the executive director calculation, which I'll go over after I kind of go through the main budget, okay? And just go over the 4,001 and 689, what's in the budget for this year. So, should I go over it right now? Prefer?
Please.
Yeah, okay. So, as you know, DHCD has an executive director salary calculation. This is a standard form that they have. And so each year they will update it with possible increases. So in our budget calculation this year, the salary, it's a little bit different because of taking on the management of the Swansea Housing Authority, okay? So what we have here is we have the basic calculation, okay, of the Acushnet Housing Authority, and what it does, it looks at your units and the number of programs you have. And so for the Acushnet Housing Authority component of it, the salary is $40,733. But then what DHCD does is that they have a calculation, which is kind of the fourth page in the packet that I have, that what it is it allows the executive director to get 40% of the management fee of from the Swansea Housing Authority. So in this packet, the fourth page, what this schedule's doing is it's calculating what the management fee is going to be that we're going to get from the Swansea Housing Authority, okay? Which is $63,605. And what the executive director, because you're a small housing authority, is their salary, they get 40% of that. So for this oversight and management of Swansea, we can add an additional $25,442 to her salary, bringing it to a total of $66,175. Okay, so it's like, so what we're doing is we're putting two pieces together. There's the Acushnet calculation, and then there's the amount of the management fee that the executive director is allowed to obtain. So that's what we're doing. Now, the thing that makes it, you're not seeing in the budget, you're not gonna see 66 because we didn't start until November, okay? So that $25,000 additional salary is effective as of November 15th, okay? So that's the way, so we had to prorate it in the budget so that her salary this year is gonna be like 56. Sorry, I get the exact number, yeah, is going to be 56,390 is what her salary is going to do, because that management contract, you know, it didn't go into effect until November. So DHCD, so we prorated that. So, but when next year, what her salary for the full year is going to end up being is 66,000. That's her new salary, was bringing on the, when I say next year, it's July 1, as when, so her new salary. So this year, it's going to be 54,739 because of prorating that, okay? So that's the salary calculation that the board has to vote on, and that we'll be submitting this. But it's got those two pieces to it, okay? And this is all prescribed by DHCD and their forms and all that sort of thing that they have. So, you know, but it was good, you know, when we initially entered into the contract with Swansea, it was for quite a bit less more. It was like, it was
56.
Yeah, it was 56, and that was not calculated on what it could have been. That was kind of like an old formula that we were using, and so we sat down, we went through and looked at it, and so we went back to the Swansea Housing Authority, and we said, this is what the contract is supposed to be. And so the actual contract should be $63,905. And so we adjusted the management contract because we weren't getting paid as much as we should. And, you know, and with the amount of work and all the different programs down there, we really felt that we should get the maximum. From the Acushnet should be getting the maximum fee. So that's kind of a little bit of the story behind it, because we had originally signed a management contract for like 56, and that really wasn't the most latest and greatest calculation, okay? So those are the two pieces. That's the salary, and that you know, when you approve the budget, you have to vote on approving this salary calculation, okay? All right. Any questions on that and how that works or anything? Okay. All right. So then the next piece, everybody, does that all make sense to everyone? Is that good?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. Now the next the packet that I gave you here, this is the full budget. We're not going to go through all these pages. I'm going to give you a summary. I'm going to talk about the changes and everything, and then but what we did provide to you is all the detail behind it if sometime you can't sleep or whatever and you need some light reading, but also just it's got all the detail, but I'm going to highlight the main things and what's going on. So our main program is our 4001, our 60 units of elderly housing. And what this year, every year DHCD, the way the budget is pulled together is that every year DHCD gives us a spending cap increase, okay? That's the amount of money to cover everything except for utilities, okay? And so our spending cap, which is in the second page, was last year our spending was $217,641, and then this year DHCD gave us a 9% increase. So what that meant is that we now have an additional $19,588 of new money in our budget, okay? To absorb everything from salary increases to just inflation on maintenance materials, contracts, benefit increases, anything along those lines. So that, it's a good chunk of money, and that's good for us, because, with the inflation and the cost increase of everything, that is, hopefully, that's gonna cover the cost increase that we, are looking at this year. So that's the starting point, is that we're looking at that we have to put a budget together that actually, lives within that spending cap. Now, we do have a couple exemptions, what's called add-ons that DHCD gave to us. One is we have the resident services coordinator that we got, and that's $50,000. All right, that's helping pay for, we're gonna, salaries and that to work with our residents. Now, that grant, because they gave us a larger, we got an increase this year, but we're also going to be working with Swansea with that. So those monies are going to be used. And so it's going to be, of the $50,000, $45,000 is for salary and benefits, and $5,000 is for like activities. So we're going to be using that grant between Acushnet and Swansea. So, it's a good thing. It's very good. And DHCD this year, that new money, they guaranteed that for 5 years. So that part is good, because lots of times these grants, you never know, they'll give them to you, but whether or not, how long you're going to have them. So, so we're looking at that. And it also went up $10,000. So last year the grant was $40,000 and it went up $50,000. So that's an add-on. And then also we get an add-on for legal support. In the housing industry, we used to have what were called legal pilot attorneys that worked in the different areas in Massachusetts, and they helped small to medium housing authorities, and DHCD paid for them. Those don't exist anymore. So what DHCD is doing is they're giving smaller to medium housing authorities like an exemption. So they're giving us a part of money to help pay for legal services, okay, as if we need it, okay? It says as needed, but our allotment is they gave us $3,000. So the first $3,000 that we have to spend on legal is paid for by DHCD. So, and you guys don't usually have too much legal, but
we have some this year coming up.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw some in what we've paid. But that's, that's how DHCD, so those are the things, we've got the spending cap, and then we've got these exemptions that they did. So putting the budget together then, the other piece that DHCD does is that they allow for salary increases the 5%, all right, on the line item. And so we built that in. I mean, the executive director calculation already did that. And then for our administrative staff and that, we are allowed to give up to a 5% salary increase. So we did that. And then on maintenance side of things, there's a few things we did with taking on the Swansea, and the fact that, your maintenance person is going to be helping down there in that. We were able, DHCD allows us to add up to $3 an hour to the maintenance for supervision. So we're taking advantage of that, and we're using some of the management fee that we got to pay for that, because he's going to be working both here and down there. And so, trying to compensate him appropriately with going back and forth and managing the different things, we added that into the budget. And our management, so he gets his regular labor and industry rate, and then we're giving him $3 an hour that represents the supervision between here and Swansea. So we're going to be, so we did that. So that was an addition, but the program, the 4001, isn't paying for it. Our management fees are paying for that additional amount. So those were just, it was ways to try and compensate for the additional work and all that is being done. So we did that, and then the rest of the line items, for example, are insurance. So the state procures and takes care of the property insurance, so our property insurance went up 15%. So we built that into the budget. And our employee benefits, because we're adding more hours to people, some are going to be eligible for health insurance, so we increased the health insurance in the budget, and our retirement actually went up just a little bit. And so we just putting the budget together, you know, the main things that we already know about, you know, we have to build that all in, and then basically we look at what's ever left in the bottom line, and we put it in contract costs or in maintenance materials. And so what I was able to do is what we spent last year on contract cost and materials more than our budget, which is not unexpected. And so what I was able to do in this year's budget is I was able to cover the costs we spent last year and actually add a little more money to try and help with inflation and things like that. So so that, you know, pulling the budget together, then the state program, you know, worked out fine. We're you know, our reserves, we're going to be, some of the mod admin money, we're going to be bringing that into the program so that we earn, and that's just going to help our reserves, because you know, we did spend down some of our reserves, but then we've got this mod admin money that we're going to bring into the program, and that's just going to put us in a better financial situation. And we built into the budget, we might go to mod, we'll see, but you know, the town did a lot of great work for us out here with our parking lot and that sort of thing, so we're looking to do some paving and that, and we may be taking that out of this budget. We're going to see whether we've got mod money or whether or not we're going to use some of the mod admin money that we got in. And that mod admin money, it's a decent amount of money. I mean, it's over $30,000, so it's a good chunk of money, and I think we're expecting the paving or whatever to be around $8,000 to $10,000. So it's all good, you know, and it's additional money that's going to come into the program and just, you know, make us financially stronger than we were when it comes to the 4001. So I felt really good about putting the budget, being able to put some money in to cover inflation and cost increases and things like that. You know, it is good. I have 6 months worth of activity, so I can kind of see what's been going on as I'm putting the budget together. And so everything, when everything was said and done, we accomplished, you know, with bringing in Swansea, that some of those costs, some of the overhead, you know, some of the maintenance and things like that, not directly used, but maintenance salaries and that, we moved under that contract, under our management contract money that we got. And so that actually, you know, saved our 4001 some money and our 689, because we can kind of spread some of our costs out and use some of that management. So taking on the Swansea management, whether it's a little nerve-wracking right now and a lot of work, I think in the long run, it's really going to be a good benefit for the Housing Authority, for Acushnet. It's going to bring in it'll bring in some more revenue that's going to help relieve, you know, the 4001 and your 689, and just be able to have more money to deal with maintenance and all those kind of things. So I think in the long run, once we get everything in place, it's going to be a good thing for the Acushnet Housing Authority to have that. So that's kind of the 4001, what we're said and done. Our reserves are presented here at about 37%, which is DHCD wants it to be 35, but this doesn't take into consideration some of the additional mod admin money that we're going to bring in. So I think with those dollars and everything, it should bring our reserves up to about 55 to 60%. So that's, you know, that's going to be good. That's the 4001. The 689, the only thing we need to look at in the 689 is we need to get a rent increase. And we maybe are working on that, but
We already have. We met in December, and
Okay.
we're getting actually the maximum, we're getting retro, and we're getting, they agreed to pay us a little bit more
Yes.
And that's gonna happen, I believe, I have it written in this, I
Okay,
can give you that
I did
information.
build it into the budget, the
Yeah.
increase, because DHCD set a standard this year of, there's the $304 per unit per month we should be getting, and you guys were down at like 271 or something like that, so,
Yeah.
so that's good to know. I did build it in and
Perfect, I think
keeping
it
my
was a little
fingers
bit more
crossed.
than the 304, they
Okay.
decided to give us, because they were really happy with the police.
Oh, okay, all right, that's even better. Okay, so that's even better, but I did build in an increase and bringing it up to where it's supposed to be. So, but your 689 programs, it's in good financial shape, and the only key thing was that DHCD did some revamping, increasing of the rent and that, and so we're on top of that, and so it's all good. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, that's what, that's your program, that's the Housing Authority in the budget, and, we're in good shape. I mean, and moving forward, and there's a lot of good potential here with bringing in Swansea, and, we're in good financial shape. And with the mod monies, we got ARPA money this year, so there's additional money that came in, that's all positive things, including apartment turnover money and things like that. So not having to come out of this budget, but actually your mod money, which is very supportive of the authority. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, that's the budget. Any kind of questions about any particular line items or anything in the budget that you might have?
I'm
Yes.
just wondering why the administrative assistant is not in the management fee.
Not in the
Because
management.
the administrative assistant is actually part of management, the way I see it. I mean, I may be looking at it wrong, but it would seem it would be in the same
Well,
budget as the director.
Well, yeah, but just because we're phasing it in this year, we have enough money, and we're kind of working that out to see how that's gonna happen. But what the full-time position is with the resident services and then Acushnet's administrative assistant. She's carrying those two roles. And then at Swansea, we do have an administrative assistant. And so, or we're going to, so we're still kind of working it out this year. Next year's budget, you will probably see a portion of her salary going in, but the way things are laid out this year, she's just working for Acushnet, and we're working on that. So we'll probably allocate more of some of her salary over to that. Right now, Acushnet is,
I
paying
would
for
think
that.
that's what it should be.
And our RSC grant. So we got, we got a lot of money in our RSC grant.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, so.
So we are hiring, there's enough money in Swansea's budget, so we're hiring somebody in Swansea, so that will keep Nancy here, most of the time, and then
Yeah.
she's gonna be in Swansea just maybe like 4 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but still, she does management things. She does part of it. In other words, everybody has a job description
Yeah.
you're responsible for. She does some of your job at times. Am I right?
Well,
She actually has to. She's covering the,
she doesn't do any management stuff, no.
well,
Not just
I'm sure
that
she's some decisions
management?
she has to make when you're not here. The position would call for that. Not
We
because,
did change her position, and she did get a monetary fee for it.
Yeah.
once his job changes, the money would come with it. Is that what you mean?
That management column, it should say Swansea Management, okay? It's not management, okay? It's Swansea Management
She just
fee.
has the title, but no responsibilities? Is that what you're saying?
Well, not yet under not the Swansea. That column is just the fee for Swansea, all right? And so her work that she does, what you might consider management, is under the 4001 and the 689. So we haven't started charging any of her at this point to the Swansea management fee. Okay, we will. We're just trying to work things out and see how the work flows and things like that. Some of the RSC grant, because she does resident services too, so some of that is also going to be in Swansea. So I think next year you'll see some of her salary potentially going there, but this year we're still trying to work that out. So, and that'll be to our benefit. But-
Okay, we'll watch it.
Okay, yeah, you keep an eye. We'll be looking at that. We're just trying to kind of we don't quite have everything the way we want it yet, exactly with people in place and all that. So, that's, and we only have partial of the year fee. So that's where we are. But I hear what you're saying, and, we're gonna see how much time she does end up spending down there.
It's not just Nancy, it's just the position. What the position calls for, what the job calls for when you're on it.
Right.
With, say, the director's on vacation,
Well,
whoever's on that position has to make decisions.
right,
management
but
decisions.
probably not for Swansea. So
Yeah,
so that was
I think he's
decision,
referring to giving her just like
yes.
a different position for more money, but,
Not for the money,
oh,
just for what that job calls for when you're not here, or when she's alone here, is the same. There should be in her classification, and that would bring the money back. That's all. It's not the person, it's the job. The job calls for certain things, it's worth so much money.
Right.
That's the way I look at the jobs. It's
Well-
not just the person.
yeah,
it's
but
the
even when
job.
I'm on vacation, I'm always on call, so
In other
I
words,
always make the decisions
if
even
you-
though I'm not here.
If she has a job description
Yeah,
and you see what she has, you see that she does a lot more than what's on that page, right? Just like yours. Your job description, you do a heck of a lot more,
yeah.
right? So that's what I'm saying, the job is worth more money, but it also needs a position of management. Either like an administrative assistant.
Well, everything in
That title alone.
the administration salary line item, that is all management, okay? So that's what that salary line item is. And then, we're also sort of under the restrictions of DHCD too. They only allow one ED,
Yeah.
and then they allow for an authority our size, an administrative assistant. So these are sort of, I can't put an assistant director or something like that. DHCD doesn't allow for a smaller authority, so what we try to do,
That job
yeah.
belongs in the management teaching. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
all right, okay. So, any other questions anybody might have about anything in the budget or line items or anything like that? And like I said, this year, we're working through all the different things with, with bringing in Swansea and what that means, both in the hours that we can offer to people for their time and then benefits and all that sort of thing. So, we're working through getting all that in place, Lynn is. So, next year will be a little more straightforward when it comes to that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So we just need to, there's a certification pages, that need to be signed,
I need to read the specific
motion.
Yeah. So for the, let me see. For 101, we need a motion, move to propose the operating budget for state-aided housing of the Acushnet Housing Authority for 101 for fiscal year ending 6/30/23, showing a total revenue of $418,130 and total expenses of $383,920, thereby requesting a subsidy of $92,413, and further that the executive director's annual salary of $56,390 for fiscal year ending 6/30/2023 be submitted to the Department of Housing and Community Development for its review and approval. So I need a motion.
Second.
You have a motion? Have a second? All in favor? Motion
Aye.
passes.
And for the 689, a motion, for the proposed operating budget for the state aided housing of the Acushnet Housing Authority's Program 689 for fiscal year ending 6/30/23, showing a total revenue of $27,159 and total expenses of $27,159, thereby requesting a subsidy of 0, and further that the executive director's total annual salary of $56,390 for fiscal year ended 6/30/23 be submitted to the Department of Housing and Community Development for its review and approval.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Yep.
Motion passes.
And then if they could just vote on the salaries, the executive director salary calculation. I just need a motion for that approval.
Something we have to sign.
Yeah, we need a motion to approve the director's salary for the sheets that were given to the board.
Who's the director? Can I have a motion to approve?
All right, make a motion to approve the director's salary.
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you want to start,
Thank you.
it's my computer, I can get you in on QuickBooks.
Oh, okay.
Could you give me 1 minute? I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna get her into QuickBooks.
5 recess? 5-minute recess? 5. Meeting?
Motion made.
Okay.
Second.
Next item on the agenda is management's report on this, followed by discussion. Parking lot, that's yours, right?
Yeah, so I just wanted to point out that the town did come and put in the parking lot. It looks amazing. They went above and beyond, and they really worked to make, you think there'll be 20 spaces or possibly even more?
There's at least 20, yeah. Like I said, we'll have a net gain of like 17, because we're gonna lose 3
In
and
that.
get in there. Yeah.
So we're hoping, like Teresa said, with our budget approved, that the town will come in and pave it in the spring, hopefully between the price of $8,000 and $10,000. But that's right now just talk. We don't need a vote for that. I just wanted to let the board know that the parking area is all set and almost ready to be paved. Our next item on the agenda is board training. I'm going to be giving everybody some classes. We got written up again because unfortunately our board hasn't done any training, and it does have to be done. It's going to become mandatory. So I can give you the classes. Some are online. Some, if you guys in the spring would want to go to the conference, there might be some classes you can just go and take at the conference just to get the certificate that we can submit to DHCD. Everything's changing so much. Even Mike, Nancy, and I are going to have to take certain classes to get credits, so we can, because it is going to be in our audit, and we will be written up if it's not done. So I will be handing out or emailing you some class training. The next item on the agenda is Mr. Racine and I went to the bank last week, and we opened a new account for the Swansea Housing Authority. So if every board member can just stop by the Acushnet Credit Union, you just need your license and maybe like a credit card, just a form of ID, 2 forms of ID, and sign. You need to put your signature on the card, so you guys can all sign the checks for that account if we need to have any checks signed.
What bank is that?
That's Acushnet Credit Union. So if you can just pop in and just let them know that you're here to sign. They are getting audited soon, so they were hoping if the sooner you get there, it's going to be easier for them, seeing that they are getting audited. So they'll have all their signatures. And the next item is recertification. So this month we've been working hard on recertifications, trying to get them all done. We probably have about 15 left, and Nancy and I are hoping to work on them today. So they should all be done if all the tenants cooperate and get us the information by the end of January, by next week. And that'll be great, because that's really taken up most of our time in the office, is the recertifications. And currently, right now, we have 2 vacancies. We were able to, with our management money for Swansea, we hired a consultant to do a lot of our CHAMP, weeding out of people that are sending in information, people that aren't getting information back to us. So it's gonna make it a lot easier on Nancy and I in the office. That's gonna take one big job that takes a lot of time away from us, because we do have somebody that's gonna do that for us in Swansea and Acushnet, and we're splitting the fee between both agencies. So currently we have two, we're working on filling them, and we do have two people that gave us the 30-day notice that probably will be out at the end of January, so, but as of right now, it's only two.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I have for the report.
That's it?
Yep, so we have some new business.
Could I have a motion to accept the director's report?
Make a motion to accept the director's report.
Second.
All in favor? Motion
Aye.
passes. Now we need a vote to approve the chief accountant contract.
Yes, so Fenton and Ewald sent their new contract. It does go back to July 1st of 2022, the fiscal budget. So if you look on the third page, the new monthly fee will be $718. So we just need a board vote to go ahead and accept the contract with Fenton and Ewald.
Do we have a copy of that?
Yeah, it should be under your director's report and correspondence.
This one.
Motion to approve the fee accountant contract.
Second.
Same as the other.
Yep.
We have a motion and a second, Mr. Racine.
Mr. Racine?
Okay.
Bob made a motion and Andy seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
$8 a month.
Motion passes. Okay, yes.
And the next one.
It's a vote to accept the CFA for the targeted ARP funds in the amount of $299,833.
Yes, so this was actually a really good surprise to the Acushnet Housing Authority. We've been talking about the obsolete electrical panels in the basement, and we were gonna put it in our annual plan, and the opera funds were, they gave us to finish the changing all the electrical panels in the basements and in the apartments. So the opera targeted award is $299,833. I just need the board vote to approve it. But with that being said, I did find out, learning more about the opera funds, that it says opera targeted award, and because of the fact that it's actually targeted to this specific project, what they're saying is the job could be $299,833. That's why they're having the board vote on it. But if it is more money, because it actually is a targeted award, they will pay, if it's 300, if it's 340, they will pay whatever it costs within reason to finish this whole project. So I just need the board's vote to go ahead and approve it, and they will put it in our funds to, stop the bidding and hire an engineer to come out and start doing the work. So even our RCAT rep was very surprised. They're like, how we got the money, but we got it, and we're just gonna go ahead and do it, so.
Very good. Motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I just wanted to say, I know with this gas pipe, we've been talking about they're coming out and they want eventually all housing authorities to go to electric. I have to say Swansea's all electric. With our gas bill for Acushnet and electric bill together, I think it was $8,500 for the month. That was for gas and electric for all the units in here. I got the bill for Swansea, it was $13,000 because everything does run on electric. Mike did have a great idea, now that we have this parking lot put in, maybe to call a solar company and see if we could get, you know, the solar covers up and it could actually act as covers, in the parking lot. If we do have to, switch to electric, I just cannot believe how much money it costs to heat and once it's on electric, I mean, even our split with electric and gas, you know, it was almost $4,000 a month, like less we're paying than Swansea. So hopefully we won't have to switch to all
Similar
electric.
size housing.
They have 8 more units, so
8
they're 68 and we're 60. And,
That's smaller apartments.
yeah, the apartments are a lot smaller, the gas stoves are
20-inch.
really small. So it's, I'm just hoping that we're not gonna have to go that route and we can keep, you know, the heating by gas. Even if we just change to electric ranges, but at least our heat can be gas, so. Just letting you know about that.
That's what that Swansea Street is all about.
Yeah, it's a learning experience.
Uh-huh.
It's a learning experience that I can definitely take to Acushnet.
So we got, no, there's no tenants here. What's, next meeting time and date? See if we can keep it. February 15th.
Yep.
Any problems with that?
I will not be here.
Wow.
If
Hopefully
you want to do
Stephanie
it
can
the
be
following
here.
week, I
Is there any
will.
more business? There isn't any, I would like to, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes.